Saytek here. I want to talk about the making of my Octival EP, which is out now on Cubism Records. So basically, all my tracks that I make, they're always jammed out live. So that means all the arrangement is live. A lot of sound design is live. Effects are live, and a lot of the tweaking, filters, that kind of stuff is live. Also, everything that happens is being triggered live in real time. So if I just left the equipment and I wasn't doing anything, you just hear like a loop going round and round and round, and it would get really boring really quickly. So I'm constantly moving around, creating stuff, jamming on the fly, and that kind of hands-on approach means that I can work really well alongside the crowd. So for this specific EP, the track Octival has a sample which says back and forward. That's actually from a very, very old sample library that I've had on my hard drive for about 20 years. The main kind of arpeggiated bass synth comes from the Novation Peak. I love this synthesizer. It's really, really powerful. It sounds beautiful, and it's really good for hands-on sound design. Now, some of the drums come from the MC707. It's a great groove box. I use it a lot for just like jamming out whole tracks. But when it's not used for jamming out whole tracks, a lot of drum parts come from this as well. On tracks where maybe a lot of the stuff is coming from Ableton or coming from somewhere else. It's always in this stuff. Now, the other kind of main synth hook, actually, I can't remember exactly what synth it is, but it comes from the Arturia V collection, which is a collection of vintage synth emulators. It's a really, really beautiful selection of soft synths, and it's really good to get those kind of really nice vintage sounds out of it. The drums, the main kick drum is something. For kick drums, I quite often start with a sample and then do a lot of heavy processing on it. So I saturate it, EQ it. I use things like Corpus and stuff like that to add subs to it, and just kind of really kind of work on flattening up the kicks. There's a few chopped up percussive beats on there as well. I use D16, 909, 808 and 303 emulators a lot. So the 808 and 909 drums on there coming from those emulators, and all the live effects are coming from the Chaos Pack. Now actually, since doing that track, I've updated my Chaos Pack, so now I'm using the new Chaos replay on the track in my live set, and when I'm performing that track now, I'll be using the replay. But for that track, I was using the KP3 Plus, which is like the last Chaos Pack they released before this one. I've been touring with the KP3 and the KP3 Plus now for around 15 years, so the Chaos Pack is really important in my live setup. I use it for like some kind of synth sweeps. I use it for sound effects. I use it for some really good delays and really good reverbs as well. And it's really good because it's got this XY thing on there, so you can have a lot of control over your effects with just one finger. The other track on the EP, which is called Acid with an S1 in it, funnily enough, the main synth comes from my S1, and I've got a chord on there. It's just one chord, and I'm just kind of tweaking that live the whole way through the track. Acid actually comes from, again, the D16, which is a 303 emulator. There, I can't pronounce the name of it, but it's a D16 303 emulator, and it's the latest version. I've just upgraded all the D16 stuff to the latest version of their stuff, and they're really, really good. The first versions were really good at emulating the 303, but now the new versions have kind of really added a lot more kind of control and different sounds. You can really take it beyond that original 303 sound, and you've got distortion and effects and all that kind of stuff, so you can emulate a whole wide range of acid sounds on there. And yeah, again, the drums coming from the 707, coming from the D16 collection, and there's a sample on there which just says acid, and I've time stretched it using Walking Neighbours, so it's like stretched out. It's kind of like a 90s time stretch for that one. So that's a rough kind of walkthrough of my my EP. You can catch me on tour this year. I've got 3 gigs in Berlin next week or the week after next, at Kit Kat, Rave the Planet, and Sisyphus. And then I've got tour dates all across the UK. London, I'm playing London 31st of August, and I've got a lot of stuff around Europe. I've also got an India tour at the end of September, and a US tour in December, where I'm playing St. Louis, I don't know how to pronounce that either, St. Louis, Missouri. I'll also be playing in Mexico, and yeah, New York City, Washington DC, Philadelphia. So yeah, basically, and we're working on our Asia tour as well at the moment. So I'm basically touring all around UK, Europe, and the world. So if you want to catch one of my live shows, hit me up on my socials, and hope to see you there. Peace out. Saytek.